Hi everyone, I want to welcome you to the course. I want to give you a little background on the setup of the course, and with navigation, go through some of the course policies, and then address chapters 1 and 2. So the course is set up with the announcements right here. I'm going to post usually one announcement per week. Right now I have the Microeconomics information, something about me, examples on how to correctly post, discussion board post, welcome message, and the to-do list for Module 1. So you can click on the announcement tab here to find the announcements. The home page will take you to this page right here. And then you have the course syllabus. So if you click on course syllabus right here, here's the syllabus for the course. It's very important to make sure to review it and let me know if you have any questions. The most important thing of the syllabus is this next button right here, which is the course schedule. The course schedule, which is also found in the syllabus, will show you the module, when the work is due. So module 1 is due by this date. If this is for a different course, the dates don't match up, don't worry. This is recorded in the past. So this is the due date right here. Here's what we're doing that week. Okay, so you read chapter 1 and 2. You have to do the discussions that are required. They're not graded, but they're required for attendance. You have discussion board number 1 and the MyEcon Lab work. Click on contacts. This will be a little bit about me right here. Click on the discussion board. We'll go there first. In the discussion board, you have the introduction right here. This is where you'll introduce yourself to your peers. Attach a picture would be nice. Telling us about yourself, why you want to take the course. Here's the question and answers form. So if you have any questions, general questions about the course, let me know. If you have questions related to your grades or your effort, send it to me through individual email. And then we have discussion board number 1 right here. Now we'll go through the requirements right now with the discussion board. In the discussion board, you're going to have 3 discussion boards in the class. In the discussion board, I'm grading you on the following 4 things. Initial post has to be 3 to 4 paragraphs. You must have at least 1 in-text citation and reference in APA formatting to support your question. You can use the textbook, which is what I recommend. You should have 2 peer responses. They should be at least 1 paragraph in length, and any response to my question or to any peers will count as well. Your first post is going to be due always by the first post in the module. So the initial post will be due by the first Thursday of the module. So every module is going to be 2 weeks long, but you have to complete the discussion board in the first module. Always the week will end by Saturday. So you get 60 points for initial post, 20 points for having your first post by Thursday, and then 20 points for each peer response, up to 2 peer responses. Now the question, you're going to click on the discussion board tab right here. Click on the question, and the only thing that you're able to do is press reply. That's all that you're able to do. I'm going to ask you to explain your opportunity cost of taking this course. What I might recommend you doing is using subheadings to answer the questions. It might make it a little bit easier to address the questions. So you're going to look at opportunity costs, and opportunity cost is looking at what you have to give up to get. Then you're going to focus on what is more important with your opportunity cost, your time or your money in the decisions that you have to make. Then we're going to focus on the role of scarcity, and how scarcity is an important focus for the U.S. economy, and how we determine the scarcity of our resources. Now, if you need help with that, you can let me know. You can send it to me through email, as I'm more than willing to pre-grade your work and provide feedback to you. You also have the Module 1 tab. If you click under Course Content, you go to Module 1. Here is the to-do list. This is just taken from the syllabus. Here's the module objectives right here. I have the PowerPoint presentations for you, and I also have ancillary materials for you as well. These ancillary materials are going to consist of some teaching summaries that I made, They're going to list of some articles that will relate to the concepts, and there are going to be some videos as well that I think you'll find are very helpful to extending the analysis in the course. Now, we look at Chapter 1. If you click on the PowerPoint here, we're going to go through some of the sections in Chapter 1. If you have any additional questions after I go through this, let me know. Or if you have any questions, more resources that you need, let me know as well too. Now we're looking at why we study economics. And economics is focused on how we make decisions. And we're looking with, when we look at economics, we're focused on the study of unlimited wants with limited resources. Everyone wants something, but we're not able to satisfy everything that we want, which forces us to make decisions. And we have some very fundamental concepts. And one of the fundamental concepts in economics deals with opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is focused on what you have to give up to get. And every decision that you have to make involves some type of opportunity cost. We notice that our resources are scarce. And when we look at our scarce resources, you're able to understand the scarcity of our resources based off the prices that we charge. So if you look at water or oil, you'll notice that oil is much more much more scarce because oil is more expensive compared to water. Now, economics is going to be broken into two different fields. It's going to be broken into microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics is going to be focused on the branch of economics that focuses on individuals and how they make decisions, whereas macroeconomics is going to focus on how the economy as a whole makes decisions that influences individuals. In economics, we make two types of statements. We make positive statements and normative statements. Positive statements are going to describe things that exist and how it works, whereas normative statements are going to be looking at opinions. And you'll notice a lot of the things that we focus on within economics when we look at normative statements are focused on decisions that we have to make and how we make those decisions. Now let's check out Chapter 2 and some of those concepts as well. Now, Chapter 2 is going to focus on the factors of production. And there are four main factors of production that we're focused on. Capital is one of the key factors of production. And when we look at capital, you're looking at things that are being produced, machines used to produce goods and services. And the thing is, it's not money. People always get capital confused with money. It's not money. Capital is looking at machines. And the factors of production, there's four of them: entrepreneurs, land, labor, capital. And you'll notice that entrepreneurs are the most important, because entrepreneurs are the one that gather the other resources to make the appropriate decisions in our economy. Now, when we look at economics in practice, and we look at this concept of scarcity, you'll notice that the growth of the frozen dinner entree in the last 50 years is an example of opportunity costs. So many entrepreneurs find that simple tools of economics, like the deal opportunity cost, help them understand what products will be profitable and what they need to produce in the future. We're always looking at what consumers evaluate and what they have to give up to get in those decisions. Now, when we look at this, we start to look at various models, and these various models are looking at the theory of comparative and absolute advantage. And when we look at these concepts, you'll notice that absolute advantage is looking at a country and how the country is able to produce more compared to another country. You'll notice that many countries have many different resources, and we allocate our resources differently than other countries. And we also look at comparative advantage, and comparative advantage is focused on who has the lower opportunity cost. And we look at who has the lower opportunity cost, who's able to give up less resources to produce the same goods and services. Now, when we look at this example right here, you got Colleen and Bill. You notice that they both produce logs and food. But if you look here, Colleen is able to produce more logs compared to Bill, whereas Colleen can also produce more food compared to Bill as well. That means Colleen has the absolute advantage in both the production of logs and food. But the key to evaluate with this is, when we look at opportunity cost or the comparative advantage, we then have to focus on some other things. And the main thing we have to focus on with comparative advantage is who gives up less to make those decisions. That's important. And that deals with our opportunity cost. And whoever gives up less is the one that should be producing that good or service. Now let's look at the production possibility frontier. When we look at the production possibility frontier, this is another model that we can evaluate to understand both scarcity and the role of opportunity cost. If you look at this graph here, you have capital goods, which again are machines, and consumer goods. We can produce anywhere on this line. If we look at this production possibility curve, anywhere on this line where the economy would like to produce. Anything here and on this line is attainable. Anything outside the curve is not attainable because we don't have enough resources that are allocated to this. So this is attainable, this is not attainable. Now, when we look at the production possibility frontier, this is going to help us understand how we make decisions of where we should produce at and what we have to give up in our production. So let's assume we're at point E here. We produce 1,300 consumer goods and 550 capital goods. And let's say we want to go to producing at point F. So now for us to produce an additional 250 capital goods, we have to give up producing 200 consumer goods. That's very important. So you cannot produce more of each. And given that you cannot produce more of each, you have to give up to produce more of another. That's the key. You have to give up something to get something. And the concept of opportunity cost is very important to this graph because it evaluates our resource allocation. So those are some of the concepts that we're going to be focused on in the course. I would like you to make sure to review the syllabus. Also, it's very important that no late work's accepted in the course. All of your work needs to be submitted on time, correctly, to do well. Also, there's 2 proctored exams in the course. It's very important that with the proctored exams that you start getting your proctor now, and you have to get the password from me to actually take the exam. But make sure to focus on getting those things set up so you can do well. And if you have any questions, you need additional resources, please let me know as I'm more than willing to assist.